Hey, I already did this video with my wife outside while we were walking, but then my phone died and it didn't save to my... Hi, how are you? Back on coffee. This is day 5 back on coffee. For day 4. This is basically going to be a spoiler for the main channel coffee video that will come out in a soon time. Probably in a week-ish. And turns out I love coffee. It was very noticeable, the motivation coming back to do things, that whatever laziness I was feeling just wasn't there anymore. I haven't had, but since coming back, so I was on like 3 cups a day, 2 to 3 cups a day before quitting, and now I have, each day I haven't had a whole cup. I've had like half cup and like 3/4 of a cup, and it's plenty. And it's working real well. So I think any negative aspects of coffee I had before, like possible, anxiety, stress, nervousness, which wasn't that bad, but possible digestive issues, those aren't happening, and I think part of that could have been the amount I was having. I don't need to drink that much now to get the benefits. Obviously, as I do this, the longer I do this, I'm sure I'll get back to wanting more and more, as people do, and then it'll stop having as much effect. So maybe just periodically I quit for a while and then go back. Could do that. On the other hand, I've read articles about how it might be more healthy to just have a steady amount of coffee on a regular basis rather than once in a while. Just like that could cause spikes in your blood pressure. So it might be better to be consistently no coffee, or consistently the same amount of coffee every day. That might be better for your health. But whenever you talk about stuff like that, though, I bet a lot of people could find studies that say the opposite. I mean, it's always hard when you're talking about these health things. That's why I just mainly keep my videos about how I feel. Because I can find studies all over the board. Although it does seem pretty consistent that there are a lot of health benefits to coffee. I don't want to just start listing them because nothing's really conclusive. But regardless, I feel better, so I'm going to keep drinking it. I know a bunch of people are probably going to say that 1 month isn't long enough to realize the full benefits of not drinking it. And that might be true too, but I like it. And I don't think my sleep is like the same so far as it was when I quit. So I don't know that it affects it that much. I'm only having a little bit in the morning. And I'm happiest when I'm most productive and I feel motivated to get things done. And so I'm going to do it. Another thing I talked about in this video that I already shot with my wife was how I'm getting a new phone. And I'm switching. I'm making the switch back to iPhone, and I'm going to get an Apple Watch. This isn't sponsored, by the way. But as I was saying that, my phone died. The battery was not indicating that it was too low, but it apparently was. And then it didn't save the video. That wasn't a consistent problem. That's not why I'm switching phones. That just happened to happen the first time while I was talking about switching phones. I don't dislike my phone, but the main reason I'm switching over to iPhone, Apple Watch, I may possibly be using a virtual trainer app to buff up, to get ripped. That might be, I'm going to do a video coming up. Why do people like getting ripped? Why do people like getting buff? Whatever it's going to be called. And I'm going to interview people about it, and then mention that I'm going to try to do it. And then I'm going to use this app. It's a personal trainer app that requires the Apple Watch for months, for however long it takes, and make a video out of it and try to get ripped. I don't know what I'm getting myself into. I'm sure it's going to be hard. Maybe I'll quit. I don't know. I doubt I'll quit. I don't do that usually, unless it clearly is a really dumb thing to be doing. But so I'm going to make the switch over to iPhone, which I used to have many, many years ago. And then for really not much of a reason, we just switched to Android, and it was fine. And I'm sure switching back will be fine. I do hear lots of good things about the Apple Watch, though. So I'm interested to see how that compares to the Fitbit, which is what I'm using right now. And that's about it. How are you? Happy Monday. I wish you would have seen the video of us walking around outside, though. It's nice to be outside. It's nice to have other people around, you know? I mean, not other people, strangers, my wife around. Anyway. How are you? Have you watched Middleditch and Schwartz on Netflix? Thomas Middleditch, Ben Schwartz, improv. It's really good. It's better than you think it is. If you haven't watched it, you should probably watch it. I think that's about it. I do these kind of videos every single weekday for patrons on Patreon. Link that on the screen. And I do these videos for you every Monday. So there's a playlist of that on the screen. What do you think of that? How about them apples? Get it because I talked about Apple? That's barely a joke. Bye.